All right, today we're jumping into a classic ghost story from a small Punjabi village. And believe me, it has all the right ingredients. You've got a haunted mansion, a hero who talks a big game, and a night that goes in a direction nobody saw coming. Okay, let's get right into it. This story walks that perfect line between comedy and horror. This line right here basically means it's a little funny and a little bit scary. So one minute you'll be laughing, and the next, well, you might just be checking over your shoulder.
So, just a fair warning before we go any further. If you're watching this alone, late at night, maybe flick on a light, because things are about to get a little spooky.
Our story kicks off like a lot of good ones do, with someone's big mouth getting them into trouble. So let's meet our main guy and see how his boasting lands him in a seriously scary situation. So let's set the scene. We're in this small, quiet village in Punjab called Chak Lassiwala. You know the type of place. Everybody knows everybody else's business, and gossip travels fast. And this is where we meet our hero, Bhola. Now, Bhola is, well, let's just say he's a bit of a simple soul. The villagers have this great nickname for him. They call him the Wi-Fi brain, because the signal kind of comes and goes. And his two favorite things in the world, eating free food and bragging. And this line right here, this is what gets the whole ball rolling. One day, he's sitting around with some of the locals and just blurts out, "I'm not afraid of anything. If a ghost showed up, I'd just serve it tea." Yeah, he's so fearless he'd offer a ghost a hot cup of chag. Of course, you can just imagine what happens next. The village guys hear this, and there's no way they're letting it slide. They immediately call his bluff. If you're so brave, they say, then prove it. Go spend one night all alone in that creepy old abandoned Haveli at the edge of town that everyone swears is haunted. And just like that, the dare is on. Bhola has to put his money where his mouth is. So let's follow him to the Haveli and see how this one spooky night plays out. Okay, so the clock strikes midnight. It's a cloudy night, and Bhola grabs his flashlight and starts walking towards that dreaded mansion. He gets to this huge old gate, and it just swings open all by itself. He takes a breath, steps inside into total darkness, and right away a loud crash echoes from somewhere upstairs. Now what's really telling here is Bhola's reaction. That gate makes this horrible, long, drawn-out creaking sound as it opens, and you can almost hear him trying to convince himself, "Oh, it's just the wind. Yeah, no big deal." But then comes that sound from upstairs. This isn't a creak, it's a sudden sharp thunk, like something heavy just fell over. And this time, he can't just blame it on the wind. And then it starts, a whisper that just seems to come from everywhere and nowhere all at once. A cold, chilling voice hissing his name. Bhola. I mean, his blood must have turned to ice. How does the ghost know his name? The whisper comes again, and this time it feels even closer. "I am watching you." And that's it, pure panic. Bhola starts whipping his flashlight around the dark, empty rooms, his heart just hammering in his chest, desperate to see who or what is saying that. He feels it, a presence right behind him. He takes a breath, and slowly he turns around. So who is the real ghost in the Haveli? Well, the answer is definitely not what you're thinking. In the shaky beam of his flashlight, Bhola sees this terrifying figure, all draped in white. He lets out a massive scream. But then, as he looks closer, wait a minute. It's just Chachapala, one of the village elders. He wasn't a ghost at all. He was just wandering around looking for his lost buffalo. The tension just pops, and they both share a nervous laugh. But they don't get to laugh for long. Just as they're catching their breath, a new sound starts. Directly above them, slow, heavy footsteps. Thump, thump, thump. And Chachapala looks at Bhola and says, "He came alone." All right, so now they're both genuinely terrified. Together, they slowly start creeping upstairs to figure out what in the world is making that noise. They're about to meet the real resident of the Haveli. They push open a door and step into a big empty room. It's completely silent, a little too silent. And then suddenly, damn, the door slams shut behind them with this incredible force, trapping them. Looks like the ghost has them right where it wants them. And in that exact moment, the closet door bursts open, and out jump Sharif and all of Bhola's friends, just roaring with laughter. The whispers, the thumps, the slamming door,
The whole thing was just a massive, elaborate prank to scare the living daylights out of Bhola.
So, mystery solved, right? Everybody has a good laugh, and Bhola even agrees he owes them all samosas. But as they're all leaving the Haveli, the story takes one final, super chilling turn. As the whole group is walking away from the mansion, still laughing about their prank, one of them happens to glance back. And standing there in the upstairs window of the very room they were just in was a figure, a real, shadowy white figure, just watching them go. And then a faint, cold whisper seems to drift on the wind, a voice none of them recognized. It said, "You got away today, but tomorrow night, come again." And then, just like that, the shadow was gone.
And that's where we're left. Was it just another part of the prank, or was there something else in that Haveli with them the whole time? So I'll leave you with this question. If you were in Bola's shoes, would you have taken that dare? Let us know what you think.